Hey, Sooner Nation, welcome back. Welcome back to another Champion Standard podcast. Uh, got a lot to talk about today. We'll get to the big Red River rivalry showdown, whatever you want to call it, here in a little bit. It's got by a
Shootout.
different name. The shootout, the clash, exactly. Um, before we do that, we'll probably talk a little bit about this crazy weekend of football that we had that was just full of upsets. Just one after another. Before we get into that, hey, please like, subscribe, and follow us. You can find us on X, Twitter X, whatever it's called now, YouTube, Instagram, all the socials. You can see them down below here. Love to hear from you. We appreciate all the following out there. Yeah, so let's get in a little bit to this past weekend. So I think there was 5 upsets in the top 11.
Good
So
Lord.
half of the top 11 lost, and a couple of the others were on bye. So honestly, you had most of the
Yeah.
top 10 losing.
What an awesome weekend to have a bye week where we could just
Exactly.
sit back and just watch the chaos and we
Just
didn't have to be a
enjoy.
part of
Yeah.
anything. We could just enjoy. I mean, obviously my favorite is Vandy getting their first victory
Mm.
on against Bama in 40 years. And my God, that quarterback was gutsy, man. You want
Oh,
to
I
talk about
loved it.
some of the
Yeah.
shots he was, and how tall is he? He looks like a short guy. I
Yeah,
was like,
he's not a big
and he
guy,
was
but
in a
man, he plays
he was
large.
He
Yeah.
does. He was lowering his shoulder. He
Yeah.
didn't care. 300-pound lineman, I don't care. He just yeah, uh, that was a good game. That was a great one. That was definitely
Yeah.
my favorite. I didn't think they were gonna do it. I was pessimistic. Yeah, I was watching them
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Alabama's gonna,"
Yeah.
and then it was yeah, they did it, and it was awesome. It was great to watch. I love
Yeah.
football. I love college football. Love it.
Oh,
That's
it's
kind
the
of weekend
best.
where it's
It's
awesome.
the best, and that just proves why it's the best right there. Just the upsets that were going on yesterday, and I don't know if you saw the, panoramic views of the crowd. Man, Alabama had
I don't
80
know.
percent
At
full.
least
That one side was like
they
all red and
yes,
like a little bit of black. I'm like, are we
they
sure this is in Nashville?
I a lot of like some of the on X, a lot of them were talking about how it was their Nashville vacation was to travel to Nashville, go
Sure.
see a Bama game,
Yeah.
and a country music hall, all that.
Great,
They just had all
great road
this
trip.
little
Hmm.
great road trip, and they were not expecting that at all then. And of
No.
course, no one was. But
Yeah, they
what a
and they carried the goalpost like three three blocks or
No, it would
3
I
miles
saw
away.
a video of it,
Was
like,
it it
downtown. They were
it
just, like,
wasn't 3
just
miles, was
carrying
it? It was
it
far.
was down
They
Broadway, so they were
carried it
just like,
a
"La, la, 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 la."
long a long
Yes.
way,
They're
dude.
just like,
It
"We
was
don't know
awesome.
what to do. How far do we go, guys? I
I
don't
don't
know."
know. Did they go throw it in the river? I don't even know where they put it, you know?
I don't
Um,
know.
so that's
Someone
good stuff.
comment, where do they end?
Yeah, exactly.
Someone comment, how far do they go, and where do they chuck the thing?
Yeah, yeah, I think they were definitely heading off to Broadway, which isn't that close to the stadium. I will tell you that,
Yeah.
just from going there a few years ago. So yeah, the big upset, Bama falling to Vandy. Vandy's pretty darn good this year, honestly, and we can get into that if we wanted to. But and then the other big upsets. Let's see, Michigan lost to Washington.
Mhm.
USC lost to Minnesota.
Yes. Row
Yeah,
that boat. Row
row to
that
boat,
boat.
row to
Row the
boat.
boat. Golden Gophers rode in that boat.
Yeah. And then, the early game, Mizzou just getting it handed to him by Texas A&M. Man, the 12th
Mhm.
man looked like they had about 20 men out there on the field at times
Right.
against Missouri.
Yeah.
Gosh, Missouri looked like they packed it in second quarter. The body language
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
woof.
They were
Um,
yes, there's a culture thing going on over there.
yeah,
You had some players that just didn't want to be there after that. No, hey, we gotta finish this right. No, it was just like, whatever. I cashed my check, so I don't care.
that's right. Yeah,
I know,
LB3 really looked that way.
yes, he did. And He did. I got some flack for what I said about Brady Cook over the summer, saying that he wasn't a very good
Mm, mm,
quarterback.
mhm.
I got some heat. I'm like, he has Luther Burden, like, and he's not like those Mizzou fans. They think they've got themselves something special over there. No, you don't. And I was like, golly, you
Yeah,
know.
no.
But no,
He was he was very pedestrian yesterday and
he
didn't look.
was.
Yeah, yeah. Guess the fifth upset of the day was kind of the later in the evening. Tennessee went to Arkansas, and man, that was a 3-0 game at half, right? 3-0.
Yes,
Yeah,
right?
first
Yeah.
time first time hype had been shut out in a half in a long time. I thought Tennessee started getting it rolling. I thought they were going to go ahead and put it away, but no.
Yeah. I find that I said it even after the Tennessee game, they don't have a lot of perimeter screen game with their receivers. Like, they don't ask those receivers to block a lot.
Mm,
And I saw that again in Arkansas where they're not really spreading the ball horizontally. And like, you look back at some of those veer and shoots, they'll take some of those free yards, and I think the route tree is pretty I mean, it's already minimal with that system, but I don't really see a whole lot of intermediate attack or anything, and they can't run the ball, man. Like, that they get a lot of three-man fronts. They couldn't run the ball on us, and they couldn't run and I know I haven't redid a rewatch on it, but I know BV gave them a blueprint on it, because that what we did to them was absolutely textbook. And I think Arkansas, that Landon, the defensive end, was having himself a
mhm,
tear,
mhm, mhm.
and that offensive line, I mean, if you're spreading people out wide and you're getting three-man fronts, you need to be able to run the football, and they just can't do it.
Yep.
So, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it looked a little different. I felt like Arkansas had 5 guys on the line where we would have 3 and just have 2 right behind the line. So it
mhm,
looked a little different, but it was same idea.
yep, yep,
Um, but yeah, it was upset Saturday. We'll be hard pressed the rest of the year to find a weekend where five top ranked teams lose like that. I just
yeah,
don't. Yeah, that was probably the one. And it's 2 weeks consecutive now. The top teams lost, so that trend shall continue.
because you know what's gonna happen, man,
Yeah,
right?
Texas is ranked number
Texas is ranked
one.
on 1. Yep,
Number one.
good,
So yes, yes.
absolutely good, good,
So yeah,
good. I
and
like that.
enough about this past weekend. I mean, we have to get into the big week, second weekend here in October. We've been pre-hating, I guess you could call it, for the last week, just pre-hating, waiting for the real hate week. Um, so hopefully we can go down there and unleash some hell on that team this coming weekend.
So run, you cur! Run! Tell all the other curs the lie's coming! You tell them I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
That's right. That's right. That's what Michael Hawkins and BV are telling them.
Absolutely.
That's right. I heard over the weekend that like some of the OU players were down in Dallas this past weekend just hanging out.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fine with that as long as we don't read something tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things to do
Yes,
in
yeah.
Dallas, like, a lot.
Come on, guys.
No, they're
Behave.
they gotta be professionals. I mean, you can go have fun, but you gotta know how to lock it down.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Before we get into some of our key, what do you call them, key factors, X factors,
X factors.
X factors. I just wanted to thank a couple of our sponsors, Woodworks Distillery.
Mm, awesome
some,
stuff.
some of the best made bourbon and whiskey and vodka and gin you can get here in the metro. And then your guys down the street at nine East Liquor.
90s liquor right there next to Rudy's. Great selection of whiskey. Great selection of bourbon. Zach, he really, he's got limited shelf space, so every whiskey and bourbon he puts on the shelf is something that he personally likes, and you can go find some Woodworks there, and he's got others too that are really great. Go give him a hi. Go say hi to him after going to the coach's show on Monday, and tell him we sent you over there.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, we may be heading to Rudy's tomorrow evening. I know we haven't firmed that up. We just kind of talked about it.
Let's
So
do it, man. I'm
if
down. Let's
no,
go.
and if any of our listeners are local and want to come out and join us tomorrow, the coaches show, I think there's the huddle, which is before Brent starts at 6, and then Brent's segment starts at 7. So yeah, come on down to Rudy's and join us and hang out, and we'll try to wear our shirts. That way you can identify us very easily. But yeah, that'd be great if we could get some viewers or listeners or any locals to come join us tomorrow. But
Sure. Yeah.
we can firm that up tomorrow, decide if we're going. But yeah, let's dive in a little bit to the the big game. Texas will be ranked number 1. I think we're tied for like 18th or something like that. We moved up a little bit. So I guess we shouldn't even go down there. We shouldn't even show up.
Right.
I don't know the point.
But yeah, let's dive into the X factors real quick. Let's get into it.
Yep. The one thing for me before I, mention at least a couple of my X factors, I will say, they say it every year, just throw everything out. It doesn't matter how the teams are ranked, how they're playing or whatever. I agree. I mean, you and I both can agree that there's been several games in the last 20 years we had no business winning.
Yep.
Yet we go down there and find a different gear, find a different level, just play out of our mind, Sooner magic, whatever you want to call it. There's just been times, we've looked like the underdog, but and I like going into that game as the underdog, honestly.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely.
I hate when the roles are flipped. I just feel like all the pressure's on us when that's the case. But
The pressure's on Texas. They're in a no-win scenario. Like they don't. I mean, they get the win, so what, right? But if they lose, it's like bad,
mm-hmm.
And this game is like no other game in the entire season. Like you mentioned, like it's everyone. It's just played completely different. Both teams know each other and study each other all year round. They know each other's tendencies. They know their weaknesses and their strengths. It comes down to one play, two plays, lucky breaks, how the ball bounces. I mean, it's just a wild damn game, and that's why it's one of the best rivalry games, the best rivalry game in college football.
Yeah. I think for me, there's two or three X factors. Turnovers is all, winning that turnover margin's always just a standard. You got to win the turnover margin. That's always an X factor. So I don't think you can win the game without, throwing that out there and we've done a good job of turning people over this year. And I don't Texas is that on turnover. They really haven't had to depend on them yet with their schedule. They've just been able to go out and execute. So, turnovers are key. If we can get a little +2, +3 turnover margin, I think this is going to be a fourth quarter game and come down to the wire. Even if we don't, maybe just some unexpected offensive production.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my second X factor.
Well, hold on. On turnovers, OU is 5th in the country.
Oh wow.
Yeah, turnover margin per game. They're number 5 in the country.
That's even better than what I thought. Yeah.
And Texas, oh good lord, where are they at? They're at 42nd.
Yep.
I mean, but then again, they haven't really I mean, Makumbo got a good pick in the Michigan game that I watched, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Turnovers. I mean, you can always rivalry game, close game, turnover. You got to win the turnover margin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mentioned our offense. Hopefully we can get, some, progress or just see something that we haven't seen all year as far as some extra production, which leads me into my next X factor, the running game. The running game has to show itself. And if there's any week, that it needs to show up all of a sudden, this is definitely the week. I wanted to pull up the rushing offense in particular here.
Yeah.
On the left, it's an elephant in the room, right? We're dead last in the SEC in rushing per game.
Yikes.
Yep. 128 yards a game. We've played Tennessee and Auburn, of course. Texas is up there, top 5. So just the, and I know we're slowly getting healthy with the offensive line. And then Michael Hawkins, of course, a couple more weeks into the system, maybe they can have a few more, add a little run game to his, some called run game, not him scrambling for his life, trying to do some more helicopters up in the air kind of thing. But
Yeah.
just really would just really like to see some chunk plays out of the running backs. If we could get some big chunk plays out of the running backs this week, that would show some progress. And I pulled up the stat, we're averaging 130 a game, if we can creep up there to 180, 200 may be a lot to ask, but get up in the 180 range. I don't care. Just bust some big plays and make them respect the rushing game, which at this point they probably have zero respect for right now, just watching film,
Yeah, and I think the stat that's floating out there right now is that 75% of the Red River Shootout games, the rushing leader has won the game 75% of the time.
That's right.
You rush to win, 75% chance to win, or at least historically. So
wow.
I forgot what the record is, like the actual record number is, but it was 75%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to rush the ball. You have to run the ball, which keeps you
controls
balanced.
The clock.
Controls the clock.
Yep.
You're limiting. When you're age old, like when you hand the ball off, the only thing that can happen is if you're, and if you're winning the rushing battle, you're moving the ball forward. You're also not fumbling the ball or turning the ball over. You throw the ball, you've got a chance for incompletion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't move it, or a chance of interception. So gotta win the rushing battle. And if you were gonna say that, play devil's advocate, I mean, Texas, to me, I mean, on film doesn't look like a great rushing team, but they definitely have more concepts in the bag to use than we do. I mean, our run game has been pretty bland to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I will see after a 2-week break and adding Jake Taylor for another game after a 2-week break, because I kind of talk about rushing. My X factor to the rush game is Jake Taylor. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we went into Auburn and he gets added into the lineup, and we're starting to run more power concepts, more gap concepts, dart and pin and pull. They didn't run. I only ran it like 3 times, but I think they're starting to try to layer some things in where we can get into a 2-week break and get into Texas healthier, that we can start expanding that run concept game plan than what we've had, where we've just run inside zone and just beat it to death until, and split zone. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen split zone or a play action of split zone. My eyes melt every time I see it. So X factor for me, Jake Taylor, and building on the run concepts, having more plays in the bag to use, and keeping keeping Pete. What's his last name? Pete Kowalski.
I don't
I
know
don't
how
know.
you. Let's just say Pete K.
Petey. Let's call him DCP of Texas. Keep him guessing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I completely agree, and we're not going to get into this real deep on this podcast, but there's a lot of pressure on Seth Luttrell, Joe John Finley to go out and execute on offense. There just is. This isn't something we want to get off on right now on a tangent, because I know how far we
Not
can
yet.
go. Let's not worry about that right now. But go out, execute offensively. And maybe they won't be on the hot seat for a week, but just show us some resemblance of well executed game plan, some creativity, just taking advantage of Texas weaknesses, the middle of the field or whatever that may be.
Backers. Definitely the backers.
Just
The
take
backers are not.
advantage. We got to take advantage of someone, and not feel like, the defense is bringing it to us and we're just lucky to convert a first down. That's not Oklahoma.
No.
So just go execute.
Got to win the early downs too.
Yeah.
Got to win the early downs. You got to get out of this 3rd and 9. I mean, we're averaging a 3rd and 9 on the year. That's insane. To average a 3rd and 9 on your 3rd downs for the year through 5 games, you got to win the early downs. You win the early downs by running the football.
Mm-hmm.
Run the damn ball.
Yep.
Run the damn ball.
That's right. Yeah. My third X factor for this week is just, defensively. Look, the defense has played really good this year to great. We've been leaning on them every game. They've made play after play in the fourth quarter during the game. Keep us close. Had the pick 6 last week.
Amazing.
I just want them to shore up. I kind of want them to shore up the back end. We've given up some, big touchdowns over our head, and it looks like some pretty simple stuff, really. Especially last week against Auburn, if Des Malone just turns around and plays the ball a couple of times, maybe there's not a score there. So it all looks like coachable stuff on the back end. So I fully anticipate, our back 7 or I guess our secondary and DBs just to play a lot better this week. I think, they probably have a little bit of chip on their shoulder, after getting burned a couple of weeks like that.
And that kind of segues into my next X factor, and that is, who's our 3rd cover down? With Kendall Dolby out, who's our pass cover nickel? Is it Woody? Woody looked kind of like a fish on land out there as a slot DB. Eli, I like Eli Bowen.
I do too.
He's a little on the smaller side. I mean, he's only 5'9", 180 pounds or something like that. Like, he's a small. Technically, his game, like his technical game, is great for especially a young guy. But he's a smaller dude, and these receivers, we'll go into it. They're not huge guys, receiver, not Ivan Carry-On, but they're physical. And I wonder how we're going to approach the cheetah, but a cheetah in the sense of the 3rd down, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, obvious passing down cheetah. Who is that?
Pass game cheetah, yeah.
Pass game cheetah.
Yeah, you got Deshaun coming back, but he's really not your best pass defender. He's probably a little better run defender from the cheetah position. So
that takes away from Samuel 24, like Amasigo, like it takes his snaps away, like not necessarily. I'm just not sure. Maybe they go 3 high again, but 3 high safety look again, and have all 3 Peyton Bowen, and they run it that way. Structurally with a 3 high safety look, that way they don't have to have necessarily a nickel cover down. But I'm not sure. I don't know who, because Dolby gave you so much beyond just covering down with his twitchiness and his ability to flip his hips and be in the hip pocket all the time. He also gave you the blitz game. He also gave you he was coming downhill great into the alley, making some open field tackles. it's a lot. Like I don't think we have someone to plug and play that replaces Dolby 100%. But I think they're gonna have to be a little crafty if they want to keep Bowen and Bowman and RSJ being your safety look and having someone in the middle of the nickel there. I think you'll probably end up seeing both of Bowen brothers rotating
Mhm.
there at
Mhm.
Cheetah and Amasigo. But we'll see. I'm not sure how they'll do it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I'm with you. Dolby definitely our most versatile defender. He was kind of our X factor, so to speak, on defense. He was just
Yeah,
he was
I
just great in space, could do everything. You know, well, every team needs a guy like that you can just kind of move around. I'm not going to call him Roy
it's
Williams, but a guy that just does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean,
That.
they asked him to the blitz. I mean, he was
Hmm.
doing all these knife blitzes where he was coming off
Hmm.
the edge, and then he was taking away the number 2. He was carrying them upfield, 20, 30 yards. I mean, he did a lot. So that what you're not gonna be able to one for one replace him. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be a community. It's gonna be a group of 2 or 3 players are gonna be rotated in and out, and it's gonna be up to the coaching staff that's gonna have to sit there and chess piece around like
Hmm.
how situationally but I'm assuming it's gonna be the Bowen brothers. I would assume the Bowen brothers are gonna rotate, and of course Amasigo
Hmm.
yeah. So I think I'm looking at those 3, and then you mentioned um, McCullough gonna be in there so there's 4 guys there that can
Hmm.
rotate in, but um, and Texas's offense, I was expecting Isaiah Bond to be playing a lot more snaps in the slot. He's actually plays out wide more. He's a wide guy. It's been Matthew Golden and it's been uh, oh shoot, I forgot the other guy's name.
It's not John
DeAndre
Take.
Moore.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, Cook too. But
Hmm.
DeAndre Moore and Matthew Golden starts, but Moore rotates in with Golden. Bond's been on the outside, which
Hmm.
going in, I thought he was gonna be more of a slot guy. Now, of course, Sark, he likes to move him around, but I'm telling you, whoever is that third cover down, they're gonna have an important role in slowing this offense down.
Yeah. That, yeah, I'm with you on the 2 Bowen brothers. I think they'll get a lot of run in there. Um, at Cheetah, or if they do the 3 high safety, that's probably effective against Texas just as much as it was against Tennessee or whatever.
That
So.
that's what Mississippi State did.
Hmm.
Mississippi State ran a 3 high safety look. They went 3 high safety, 3 down linemen. They would get into bear to get some pressures. I thought Mississippi State actually didn't do too bad, but they had some really dumb calls in there.
Yeah, and we talked about it before, but complementary football is definitely it has to play a factor. This defense can play out of their mind this coming weekend, but if the offense doesn't sustain some drives and keep them off the field, it's gonna be rough. So yeah,
Yep.
hopefully there's a lot of good sustained drives by the offense. That's the last X factor I had. So if we want to dive into some stats and
Yeah,
some
I
other
mean,
things.
just to summarize, Jake Taylor, third corner for me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think those are the 2. And like you mentioned this last one, sustaining drives. Like we can't get into 3rd and 9.
Mm-hmm.
We got to win on early downs, and that comes with the run game. So, yeah, I think we're ready to move. You want to go into stats now?
Sure.
Yeah, let's dive into the stats, and we'll see what we how we compare the 2 teams.
Yeah, I had mentioned the rushing. Yeah, we were at the bottom of the SEC in rushing offense.
Yeah.
So just so you know, our passing offense um, in the SEC ranks 16th. You know how many
Our what?
teams? Our passing offense.
Oh, Yeah.
ranks
Yeah.
16. You know how many teams there are in the SEC?
Uh, um, 16.
Yeah, so dead last in rushing and passing. So we don't really have anything to hang our hat on at this second on
Well,
the offensive side of the ball, man.
yeah.
We
So
don't, but you'll get
here's
into
a
that. So
here's that segue into that. And this includes this past
mhm.
yesterday's plays. So we're dead last in 20 air yards. We're fourth to last in 10 to 19 air yards. Uh, we're we're fourth to last in short play air yards. Uh, per yards. I mean, just pure yards. I mean, you can dive into even more than this, but um, we've been saying it for weeks. Team does not have a vertical element. If you don't have a vertical element, then you need to go horizontal. They love their sticks and hitches. I mean, if you go to our little play concept, this is through the year. We've ran 38 plays that are either inside zone duo. I like to keep them in families. We've probably run duo probably like 6 times all year. We've got 33 fail plays. These are plays where I'm just like, I don't know what they're trying to do. It was a fail, whether it was thrown out of bounds or 1 year. I don't like genuine just failed. You
That's a lot
can't
of
say
failures.
what it is.
Yeah,
Rushes,
doesn't matter. Yeah,
quarterback rush and scramble. I mean, this
Mhm.
is like mostly scrambles and then your stick hitch and then your split zone. I swear, people were all up in flames with the jet sweep stuff. I don't know why there's not enough hate on split zone. We can't run the damn thing. There's always some sort of issue where the tight end can't block or Branson Hickman can't step to the right. I mean, like there's just all kinds of stuff with it.
so
Or
so point 0.8 is not effective.
yeah. So this yeah. I mean, like we don't have a bread and butter run concept to hang our hat on. We don't have a vertical element, and it wasn't up until Auburn. I mean, look, so we ran 18 screens total, including Auburn all year, and with Auburn, we ran 7 against them. So we started with 10 of 15 Michael Hawkins. I mean, we ran 7 screens. I think there was only I think a couple of them that he incompleted, but we're trying to push a ball horizontal now, which
Mhm.
is why it takes 5 games to figure that out. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So air show, uh, not quite there, like you mentioned. Wide receivers, taking a look at Texas. Uh, so slot, you're going to see DeAndre Moore and Matthew Golden. Golden is their, in my opinion, one of their. I mean, I was surprised by Matthew Golden. He's a transfer from Houston. I didn't even think he was the best transfer receiver out of Houston. He's doing pretty good. And of course, Isaiah Bond is there. They line him out wide a lot more than he's their primary wide receiver, which I thought when coming in that he was going to be an inside receiver. But
Mhm.
I mean, you see him. We'll get into the tape in a minute. But yards per route run. I mean, he's for as many routes he's running 118 routes. He averages 3 point yards a route. That's that's
That's
pretty
good.
good.
That's real good.
I mean, here, let's add Oklahoma in there.
No, that's
I
real
hate to
good.
do this.
Yeah.
There he is, 118,
Mhm.
3 point. And if you got to go to Matthew Golden, who's got 2, and then Dion Burks has got 120 routes ran, he's got 1.6. Just not efficient. I mean, that spells efficiency. Every time he's going out for a route, Isaiah Bond's averaging 3 yards. I mean, that's pretty dang good. Going to quarterbacks, here's one I want to show you right here. This is interesting. Michael Hawkins, 3.3 seconds to average time to throw. He is extending plays with his legs.
Mm.
He's sitting there, he's extending the plays. Arnold is sitting there at 2.5. I don't know. I gotta find something. I think Mike
No,
his
and
receivers work for him.
I'm a big fan of design rollouts. I think those are good at breaking down defenses sometimes,
Mhm.
Um, you can't always do it, but with a guy like Hawkins and his athletic ability, sometimes you can do that a little easier sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this stat right here.
Mm. Blow that up a little
Oklahoma.
bit for the viewers if you
Oh,
can.
yep. I'll zoom in. Texas has given up 7 sacks on 161 pass attempts. Oklahoma has given up 14 sacks on 140 pass attempts.
Mm.
Gotta get better. Gotta get better.
Yep.
I mean, that's anyway, not good. Pass rush efficiency, no surprise there. R. Mason Thomas, the law firm, most sacks in the SEC at the edge spot. This is true pass sets. This is dropbacks. But I mean, he's winning. Like he's winning. He's efficient.
Did you say most sacks in the SEC?
Yeah. Here I can.
So
I don't
so
want
so
to.
we
I
had
don't
the
because well,
no
hold on because it's week 6 and we didn't play, so I gotta have to check. Hold on. Let me make sure.
no he's
Jared
tied.
Ivey is now tied with him, but he's got an extra game.
Yeah, he's got an extra 60 snaps if I'm reading that right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so we have just sorry, I don't want to slow your roll, but so we have the leading sack and the leading tackler in the SEC because isn't Stutzman leading in
Yeah.
tackles as well? That's
Oh yeah.
impressive.
Even
God
even with
dang! Wow.
uh, it's elite, man. I'm telling you. I don't know why
No,
people are not
no. Well,
screaming
it's
from the
it's me.
hills right now. I
I
mean,
don't like throwing the word elite out because I don't want to
it's
jinx us.
elite.
It
It's
is
elite.
good. It's
This
really,
year,
really,
it's
really
elite.
good.
Last year,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
This year,
yeah.
yes. I mean, we this is run plays only. Run stops. Danny Stutzman is the best linebacker in the SEC in stopping the run. He leads by 3 stops, and he didn't even play last
He
week.
did play. Yeah.
So I mean, and anyway, uh, we have a very balanced defense. Okay, we can stop the run and we can rush the passer. It's it's a very balanced defense. It's got 3 levels of playmakers. Going into defensive backs, Mukumbo is my the guy that I'm going to be watching on
Yeah,
Saturday.
he's
Uh,
good.
he's good. He's
Mhm.
a great all around player. He's got 3 pass breakups. He's he just has this like natural nose for the ball. Like it just seems like the play is just always right there in front of him. He's always in every play.
Is he
So
Texas version of, Peyton Bowen or someone like that really, where he's
yeah,
just
yeah.
around the
I mean,
ball a lot?
if I
Yeah.
was gonna do a comp to our team, he's probably a Peyton Bowen. Yeah, he's not as big as RSJ, and he's not coming down the alley with thunder like RSJ, but he's a little bit bigger than Bowman. And I think they might actually be the same size, but
Mhm,
he's
mhm.
he's their best safety. He's got 11 tackles, three PBUs, 5 stops, 1 interception. Looking at corners, uh, the Baron guy here, I think they pronounce his Zayday, Zaydai Baron. He popped up on film too. I mean, he's pretty solid. He's only given 5.2 yards of reception
Hmm,
on 16 targets. Those are the 2 best players on Texas defense is
okay.
Mukumbo and this
And
Barron
Bowen.
guy.
Okay.
The front 7 is their run stopping front 7. You've got a thumper, and we'll get into it, but you got a thumper, and then you got a guy that looks lost half the
Mhm,
time,
mhm,
and then
mhm.
you got a defensive line, with Lole. We looked at Lole when we started the pod. Lole's on there, run defense guy, doesn't give you a whole lot of pass rush. Looking at SEC true pass sets, this is again true dropbacks. Texas they have given up 7 total sacks, 5 against the offensive line, 1 an actual true drop back, which is actually pretty dang good. So here's Texas with 1, Florida 0, LSU 0. Oklahoma's up here with 9 of their 17 sacks are in true dropbacks. That's not good because when are you in dropback?
True drop. I don't know. 3rd down and 9.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? 3rd and
No,
9.
that's it. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I know.
You're in 3rd and 9 all the time, and you're
I
getting
know.
sacked all the time.
Exactly.
Ugh. Anyway, penalties. Texas sucks. So penalties. They've given up 20 penalties. They didn't play last week. They're tied for the most. Who's the problem? You've got 7 penalties to Cameron Williams, who's their right tackle. Doesn't give up a lot of sacks, but he gives up a lot of penalties. And then DJ Campbell, 4 penalties and a sack. He's got 3 total fails. Again, this is true dropbacks. So, right side, I mean, just to finish this up real quick, right side, Texas, right guard DJ Campbell's given up 25% of the pressures. Right tackle, has 7 penalties, has given up 10% of the pressures. Yeah, I think the right side of that offensive line is definitely the weakest, and that's where RMT needs to live. He needs to live. If this is the front, he needs to live here at the 5, the 4 high, a 3. I don't care. He needs to be attack. He needs to build his pass rush plan against these 2 guys, DJ Campbell and Cameron Williams.
Yeah. It's one of those games where we know what we have with RMT. Boy, it'd really be nice for someone else to flash on that other side.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all I got. I think one thing I missed over here with Texas, they play a lot of zone. They're 77% zone coverage, 23 man. You'll see a lot of cover 3. We'll get into the tape, but they run a lot of cover 3. And that's a little bit different than us. We're a little bit more balanced. We're more of a cover 2 team, and we get into our pressures, and we'll do some cover 1 man stuff. But and I've got this sorted wrong, but let's go ahead and look at any other thoughts, Brad, before we go into our next segment.
No. I appreciate the insight on some of those defensive guys and some of their vulnerabilities on the offensive line. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. The only thing I can say is, and I don't know if you probably don't have this in your next stats, but I feel like the defensive front for Texas, with Sweat, and I can't remember the other guy that went to the NFL. I just feel like, they're not as stiff up front as they were last year. I don't know if that's the right word,
No.
but that gives me a little bit of, I don't know, hope for our run game a little more than last year. They just had 325, 350-pound bodies that could just stuff holes last year. And so, yeah, you may have some of that. Listen, I don't sit here and like ooh and ah over Texas players. I think Colin Simmons is a legit dude. And I'm just going to say that once on our podcast and that's it. But
I think Colin Simmons is literally the only guy that really sticks out. But you look, this is right here. Look, that drop off is oh my god, Brian Murphy. That drop off there is Brian Murphy.
Yep.
This is interior in line. I mean, it's dropped off like a cliff. I mean, it's now down to almost to the lowest level of 21.
It's always nice when your dashboard supports a thought I have. So
yeah, you're welcome, man. I'm hoping that I was like, please be lower.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be weird if it's not.
Like, God dang it. I'm an idiot.
But Edge has gone up, you call, like, because of Colin Simmons here. I mean, he that's the thing. I mean, this picks up efficiency. So like this is not necessarily the pure numbers of like that you can get a bunch of sacks, but if you're on the field all the time, like it kind of skews a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Colin Simmons is definitely their better edge player. Interior run defense, pass rush has gone down. Now their run defense has gotten better, but yeah, it's definitely taken a dip there. Brian Murphy, Sweat. They tried to replace Sweat with Bill Norton. I think his first name is Bill Norton. It was a transfer from Arizona.
That
You'll
does
see
not
him. He's just
that does,
just big.
that does not sound
Just
like a defensive tackle. Bill Norton.
I'm pretty sure it is, man.
That sounds like a car dealership.
Oh man, I'm
Bill
gonna be.
Norton Motors.
I hope.
What the
I'm
heck?
pretty sure it's Bill Norton.
No, I saw it on your stats.
It is.
It
It's
said
Bill
Bill
Norton.
Norton.
You make
What
me
the
feel
heck?
crazy. I'm like, I don't follow a
That's
lot
great.
of Texas guys. All right, like I'm a Sooner fan for Christ's sake. But yeah, Bill Norton. His name's Bill Norton. He's like a big 6'4",
Yeah,
6'5" guy. I mean, he just eats space. He doesn't
that's
do
funny.
anything.
Yeah.
You won't see him do much. All right, are you ready for the next segment?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I think we've tapped everything out on the stats. Is there anything else
Mhm.
you got anything else before
No.
we start? I mean, we kind of talked about how the run game's important. We talked about OU's fielding the better front seven. They secondaries are pretty comparable. I give the edge to OU, knowing that they've got those three safeties.
Mhm.
Offensively, we know Texas has found more success with their quarterback. The offensive line. I mean, Texas offensive line. I don't know. I didn't really mention, but they've pass block efficiency wise, they're the best in the SEC right now. They're actually doing better than LSU. I mean, anything? I mean, is there? Do we leave anything out?
No, I would say this on the statistics. Throw them all out.
Thank you, Brad. We just wasted
I'm just kidding.
20 minutes of people's lives. They're like,
I'm just kidding.
oh, these
It's
guys really dig into the
no,
stats.
no. You know how it is. It's Red River, man.
It's a
You just
rivalry game. So I mean, like, yeah,
I
we
was
know.
joking. I was joking. So
Throwing all the garbage.
throw it all out. It don't matter. Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into the film. We've got Texas, Michigan. I sprinkled in some Archie in there. Not a whole lot. I mean, Texas hasn't played anybody. Like I was trying to get my hands on the all 22 for Mississippi State. It wouldn't download for me. I don't know why, but you know, Texas is kind of out there. We know that they're a good offense, but they haven't faced adversity of a defense, and the quarterback play that they've played against was putrid. So we're gonna take a look at the first half of Michigan before it got carried away, and just what do we see? Let's see what we see. All right.
You know what I see,
Okay.
Rob? I see 22 players at the same time. Would that be called all 22?
Yes, this is the all 22. All right. So what do we got here? So this is the first third down of the game for Michigan and Texas, and got a loaded front here. I don't even know. I mean, this looks kind of like a bomb, it's like a bomber. This is definitely not bear. I mean, they've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. This is Isaiah Bond, out wide, and he's gonna just run a little shimmy and a little go. And I didn't like the Michigan safeties in this game. He takes this number 7 really got picked on. His eyes, he's a vision. I mean, this is cover 1 obviously, and with you got 5-6 man pressure, predominantly you're going to get cover 1, and his eyes are on
Mm.
Ewers here. The ball's out. I mean, look at that. The ball's right here. Like it's already taken off.
Yep.
And he still hasn't triggered.
That could
Like,
have been an easy pick.
I mean, our safeties are not going to do this. Like this play should not happen. Like he takes too long to trigger. Bond makes a great catch, easy. I mean that 3rd and 13, and I do like how Texas early in the game is throwing vertically. Here he is again. This is Isaiah Bond on the outside. Little screen. Get your playmakers the ball, and we're off and running. Run game wise, here's duo. Here we'll start back a little bit. You're gonna get let them line up. Double. It's gonna work. Work. He wants to come off. Take him. We're reading this backer. Running back's reading this backer. I'm pointing out some of these run plays because you'll see how many different run plays this Texas offense has because of this veteran offensive line that they're sending out here. A couple of players here's another key stat of the game that we didn't talk about earlier before is you need to get Ewers or Archie off platform. You can't let them stay in the pocket and just pick you apart. And you have to do it creatively, and you have to do it with discipline. You have to be balanced. Right here, Michigan shows a pressure. They get them off platform. Incomplete pass, get to 3rd and 7. It's going to be you're going to have to really pick and choose how you get after Ewers because he can escape the pocket and he's got 2 passing outlets that he uses to his advantage. The tight end, Gunnar Helm, and running back, Jaden Blue. So we get into, you got a bunch down here. Put the running back in motion. This Jaden Blue is a scat back. Think like a bigger, what's his name? Finch, Roy Finch. Think a bigger Roy Finch. He's not a player that is gonna bang through a B gap. They do not run a lot of lead and a lot of ISO. They do like maybe 1 or 2 times in this game, but they want to go east west with him. They like to kick him out. He likes to cut the ball out anyways. Let's see what happens on this play. I don't remember this one. 4-man pressure. I left this in here. Okay, so this one is his little scramble. You got to contain. You cannot allow Ewers or Archie to get out of the pocket. You got to contain him, but you also have to get him to move off his platform. So now it's 3rd and 11. You got a 2x2 set. You got Gunnar Helm out here split out wide. Gunnar Helm's a good tight end. He's a smooth cat, man. He's not a speedster guy. He's not a guy that's going to outrun you, but he's that big body basketball, block you out and make a good catch. He's one of the outlets where you get into Michigan will get into some odd front and get into some pressures, and he's one of the outlets that he loves to find. Look at this. You get DeAndre Moore in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. Ewers scrambles out. Let's watch it again. What happens? Pay attention to this right tackle. You got a holding call, but Ewers gets out of the pocket, and there's DeAndre Moore for a touchdown. Gets called back. They miss the field goal. Cameron Williams, holding calls in every single game. He doesn't give a lot of sacks. He holds them. It'll cost the team. You got to attack the right side of this offensive line.
That's where I like our front, and I forget what it has a name. What's the name of our front with this smaller front?
You call it odd, where you're taking an odd front.
We have a name for that.
Oh, front. SWAT. You're talking about SWAT.
Thank you, SWAT.
You're talking about our pass rush package.
Mix in some SWAT. Yes.
Yeah.
Just
you
to
get
keep them
PJ, RMT. You get Halton out there. Yes. I mean, you just got to get them in. Havoc. Yes. I always called it NASCAR because you're talking about the tallest, biggest, longest, fastest players that you got. NASCAR get up the field. Yet you just got to get in those situations. You got to get in those situations. You got to win, and you got to get in those situations. You turn them loose. So here's a pressure. So you're getting a 5-man pressure, which tells the quarterback, hey, I've got at least cover one. I mean, that's just predominantly this linebacker gets sucked in by the play action, and here's this big old 6'5", 240-pound tight end on a little shallow crosser. Those are the outlets. You pressure Texas, tight end Gunnar Helm and Jaden Blue are the outlets, and they get open. If you're going to pressure, you've got to take this play out. You can't get caught looking inside. You got to lock down the tight end and the running back. And it gets kind of lost in the shuffle because, well, they've got those receivers on the outside that are good. I left this in here. Texas at times struggled to run the ball. I feel like their bread and butter is passing. I mean, they're really good at pass, especially these three here. These two kind of struggle a little bit. If you're going to pick out a weakness, it's the right guard and right tackle. So here's a play. This is so you'll see take cover 4, or where you want to say sky. They're all relating to the number 2 receiver. So are they. They're trying to take the number 2 receiver on either side of the ball. They're running a corner. They're running an inverted smash. And then they're running a post. This safety is going to take this corner, this corner route. This corner is supposed to follow this Gunnar Helm, but this Gunnar Helm, like I said, he's not fast, but he's smooth, man. Too easy. Touchdown. Easy Texas right there. But you see how, let's go back just a little bit. Corner is thinking, I need to take this number 2 receiver. That's not what they're running. The safeties are relating. Look, eyes on 2, eyes on 2. Here's 1 coming across the post. These linebackers are not sinking far enough in their hook zones, and right in the middle of the field. I mean, that's their tight end. I mean, that's not Isaiah Bond. That's not Cook. I mean, I was really impressed by them finding, because last year that was Jatavion Sanders, and this year there he is again.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really impressed by this Gunnar Helm guy. That's a big body. That's a big body.
I mean,
man.
if I'm comparing him
Tackle.
to someone on our team, it's Roberts. If I'm just trying to draw a comparison,
Here's outside zone. So this is the first half of football. We've already seen duo. We've already seen and I think, did we see insert already? I can't remember. But here we go with outside zone. You've got a wide 9, you got a shade, you got a linebacker at a 3, and a wide 9. This guard is going to reach this center, and you're going to have 1, 2, 3 guys kick this out. And like I said, this is Jaden Blue. He's not a guy that you're going to wham in here on inside zone. They want to get this guy moving east-west. Too easy. You cannot give Texas. Look at all these open gaps, man. Look at all this open space. I mean, that's just too much. That's 3. I mean, like, that's too much. Too many gaps are open. And you leave gaps open like that, their playbook is vast. Okay, when it comes to run concepts, they can find something in their play bag to execute and get yards. You can't leave that many open gaps. So Michigan, this is the 3rd down. It's empty. They go what you would call, Madden cover 4. This is cover 4 spot drop zone. Each of these guys are capping these zones here. They're gonna send vertical routes, and I put this in here because after they ran this, they get a sack. There's no outlet in the flats, none. So Texas comes back. I mean, we're still, 7-3 game. This is anybody's game.
Mhm.
This cat right here, Jaden Blue. We've already seen tight end Gunnar Helm. Boom. Look at all this space.
Oof. Yeah.
And we've already seen last week with Auburn got us good a few times. They've already
Sure.
put on tape
No.
their fast 3. I call it a fast 3. It's a third receiver. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Get him out quick. He'll run like a little flat, and then there's times where he's running more like an arrow route, like he wants to get out, like he's attacking upfield quick. And this one is this little flat. He comes back later and he runs an arrow, but you can, if you're gonna pressure, or if you're gonna send safeties and corners back, that's how they're gonna attack you. They're just gonna come underneath you. This is a crazy play. So you're gonna get the center pulling, and you're gonna get the guard. You're gonna get a crack, a down block, and then this guy's gonna seal this off. I would call it like a buck sweep. You could say it's counter, but it's a power play. I wouldn't necessarily say it's pin and pull because it's on the backside pulling, but easy, man. And this is all in the first half. We've already seen 4 different concepts. That's 4 more than what OU has right now.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Brad? Come on, give them to me. Like Michigan, their number 7 was lost quite a bit. Their backers, especially in pass coverage, got lost in their positioning. I left some of these plays because like Texas was miscuing, and they were miscuing in Mississippi State too. And like they're not this team is not unbeatable. So it's 14-3 now, and second quarter. There's 6 minutes left. This game is still in reach. This is your Giante Cook right here, and he fights a soft press. But this is something different that I did not really quite see out of Ewers last year. So he's getting a wall. You got a wall defender. This is man, I can't tell what coverage this is. I'm not quite that good yet. But look at how he fires this thing. Breaks loose from a soft press, fights his way inside, lets it rip. I just thought that was a good play. That was a third down and continuing the drive. Here's that flat play again. He'll make a corner miss. I get running back in between the tackles at all. They want to get him outside. They want to get him some pass stuff. Outside zone again. Here's a PA rollout. Pitch and catch. At this point, the game is getting away. Game's done. And here's Blue again. Gets to the corner. Touchdown. Look. So this is a good little play design here. So you got all these guys lined up. They're just like loaded up. This guy right here, the coaching point, he's relating to the back. You've got these guys that are all running up here, and they're going to all, create a natural rub, a natural block. He's already taken off. Nobody's moving. He's about to get
reaction.
No reaction. He is getting to full speed. That can't happen. You cannot have this guy working to the sideline and nobody moved. You have to have somebody, and it's not until I'm sorry, I marked him. It's this
Mhm.
guy.
Mhm.
What? He's dead. He's done. But you say, okay, this guy's got leverage on him, but he's not looking at him. He's looking at this guy. Touchdown. And at that time, now it's 31-6.
Yeah,
Game
it's
over.
over. Uh-huh.
This is another thread the needle. So here's 2. This is cover 3 again. Michigan ran a lot of cover 3. Here's your hook zones trying to drop out. You got your single high safety. Here's a little box. And look at him. He throws off platform and gets that ball right over that linebacker. I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. So here's some Archie with
Mm.
Mississippi State. Great quick release. I mean, I'm just going to let this run. See, same play that we just watched. I mean, he just does the same stuff, but I like his release is a little bit better. Here's a drop. Had the guy beat. Didn't quite get it. Come back. This is where look at this game. It's 7-6. 35 seconds. It's 3rd and 9.
Mm.
This play kind of irritated me. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. They're gonna blitz them all. It's cover 0 on 3rd and 9. I don't know why Mississippi State is calling this play.
Right.
I mean, you're just asking. I mean, just chuck it up to somebody. Oh, my 3rd receiver is better
Mhm.
than your 3rd corner at Mississippi State. Okay, I hated that play call. That was so stupid.
Yeah,
There's your Cook.
Yep,
Yeah,
Jonte
go
Cook.
ahead.
I will say no, I was just gonna say that I hear that quarterbacks' uncles are just, no good guys.
Yeah,
Never really
Archie's good,
amounted
man.
they never really amounted to much from what I hear. So
Yeah, Archie's good. I don't know
yeah.
if you saw this. I don't know if it's this play. Yeah, I think this. Look at this. Look at this. Just uh, turn the corner.
Jeez. Yeah.
He doesn't get this touchdown. I think he got robbed. This is a touchdown to me. He does not step
Mm,
out of bounds. He's in bounds, and they
oof.
took it away from him.
Yeah.
Anyways, one player to highlight on defense, Mukumbo.
Mhm.
Guy is a little bit everywhere. So here, hey, OU loves their sticks
Ooh,
and
yeah,
hitches.
who's he
Look at all this
guarding there?
stick, stick,
Who's he guarding?
stick. Well,
He's not he's defending air.
well, he's in zone. So this looks like this looks like I don't. I mean, it looks like cover 3, but I don't know, man. I don't know. That ends up
Mm,
being a Texas touchdown.
mhm.
I mean, you're gonna run sticks, ball drill, end of story. He is a trigger man. He triggers in a hurry. In a hurry. This one he got, but I appreciated his hops here.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Almost gets there.
Mhm.
But he's 1, 2, but great open field tackler. Comes downhill. Uh, Great cover. He understands leverage and understands leverage from depth when it comes to a safety. Like here, I mean, this quarterback is eyeing this route hardcore, and he triggers on it. And like, there's not a whole good insight on how to run this on this Texas defense. You know, Michigan does have great blocking tight ends.
And I just kinda see RSJ running around the field, honestly. That's
Yeah,
their version of RSJ.
look at this run. This is a great run, man. I mean, this is power football. I mean, they ran on them, and Michigan had to because their quarterback sucked. They could he th- they he could not get the ball downfield they had to run the ball, and they were physical, and they displayed some blockers. They made some good plays, and then they made plays like this. I want to point out a couple of things. Just a few. Benda, number 33. He looks like your typical like 3-4 inside backer thumper guy. Like just big, and he misses a ton of tackles. A ton. Like that happened. Maybe I'm just spoiled watching Kip and Kobe, Lewis Carter, and Danny Stutzman. Like our 2 deep, 3 deep of backers would be starting over these guys.
Mm.
Hands down. I don't Benda, Anthony Hill. Anthony Hill looks lost all the time. I don't really fault him too much because he is a sophomore and this is like his
Yeah.
first real season. This guy is like a 60. This is early.
Yeah, I feel like Anthony Hill's kind of our version of Kenneth Murray. Still just kind of learning. Got a ton of
Yeah.
athletic ability. You know, when it clicks, he's going to be good. So
this play don't look at the backfield, but this is just a simple cross. This is cover 3. Texas likes to play cover 3. They'll play cover 3 in early downs with a spin down safety in the box. Cover 1 behind 5-man pressures, which is the norm. Cover 4 spot drop or quarters versus trips. Cover 2 to the boundary. You'll see split field coverages with cover 2 to the boundary, cover 4 to the field. Here they catch Texas in cover 3. They're running. This is the same play. This is the play that Jackson Arnold threw an interception. You have
against
cross.
Tennessee.
Yep, and then
Yep.
cross. But they don't have a sinking safety like Jackson Arnold. He releases it. Great. That's a great pass. I mean, it's early in the game. Like power football, man. Oh, okay. So let me back up. So it is second quarter. It's 14-3. They're going to spin down this safety. They're going to run cover 3 again. And what do you do against cover 3? Not this play, different play. Let me back up. Oh, man. Where are we at? Here's insert by Michigan. Tight end pull in. Running back kick out. Boom. There we go. Look at that read. 4-yard gain. Awesome. Here we go. 3rd and 2. Oh, you've seen this. Would translate to Saturday?
Not to my naked eye, but you're the X's and O's guys.
All right. This is the last play I got for y'all. 17-3. 2nd and 12. Game is in reach. You've got a 2x2. Safety spins down. It's cover 3. Attacking cover 3. Flats and seams. Again, it's 17-3. Wide open. Wide open. Quarterback just couldn't get there. I mean, I mean, if they're going to run cover 3, Seth Luttrell, as bad as, some of the, scheme wise and stuff, he does call man beaters against man. He plays He calls zone beaters against zone, like he does. We've seen it. If we get this look, he will call this play. And can Mike get that ball? Can the receiver get that ball? I mean, if you go touchdown there and then it's, and then just to follow up, this is the very next play. The very next play, they're in a 3-high look. They're dropping a safety in a high hole. They're going cover 2 out here. They're kind of running a version of Tampa 2. This tight end's going to leak out, and this is third down. Look at all this space here. The third down marker's right here. He just drops it. Doesn't even give him a chance. It's 17-3. Play to play, back to back.
Yep. Could have made it a game early.
There's opportunity there. There is opportunity, but can we execute the offense? I watch this Texas defense. I'm not nervous about playing them. I'm more about just like our offense being able to execute. That's where I am at.
Yeah, that's the elephant in the room, Rob. Can our offense execute?
If we have an elite defense on one side, if we have a competent offense that does their job, everyone, all 11 players does their job.
I feel like you're speaking to someone in particular when you say that.
Almost. I'm almost there. Man.
Yeah.
If 11 players do their job consistently, this defense is good enough to keep you in every damn game on your schedule. And if we've got that offense that can find a run game and build their bag of concepts to answer the questions on some of these defenses that Texas is going to be throwing at them, we got ourselves a chance. I'm not. I mean, this Texas defense is not that good. It's not. It's not that good. Their 4-down guys can't rush the passer. Their backers, one of them's fat and slow. You might as well put me in a jersey. I'll do it.
Aguebu. Is that who that is? Yeah.
Pretty much. I would think he's bigger and slower than him. And Anthony Hill looks like he's lost all the time. Like he doesn't trust his eyes. He's slow to react.
Yeah, and I like to hear that. If Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons, a couple of your more athletic, linebackers are lost sometimes in space, then man, we gotta confuse those guys.
Yeah,
we gotta find a way to confuse those guys and just get them off balance. So no,
yeah,
good,
I think
good tape evaluation there as always. So
yeah, I think defense has plenty to throw at the Texas offense to slow it down. Absolutely plenty. They have not come close to what BV can do in 2 weeks. And that offense, our offense just needs to execute. I don't care. You know me, I'm biased. Like I'm a veer and shoot like patron. I love it. And this scheme, it's not what I would be running, but if you just execute, just do your job, man.
Well, everything will, if you can establish a running game, magic happens. And I'm not talking Sooner magic. I'm just saying, if you establish a running game, guess what? Play action comes into play. Everything else just opens up a little more. But until you can do that, teams are just going to keep putting 7-8 guys in the box and just making you try to beat them over the top. And if you don't, well, that's how you end up last in the conference in offensive statistics.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. No, want to wrap things up here? And I know all the people out there, including us, if you're not a hateful person, it's okay to hate Texas this week. I just want to throw that out there.
Surely no one's struggling to hate Texas.
You get a pass this week if you want to hate all the steer loving people down in Austin. Feel free. Yeah, let the hate presume. It
Let the
starts
hate
now.
flow.
That's right. That's right. Anything
If
else, Rob?
Well, final thought.
Yeah.
We sprinkled it in through the last hour and a half. If I see the same bullshit from the
Mm,
first 5 games
teaser.
after a 2-week break,
Yeah.
and you've gotten healthier on O-line, and you've had all this time, I will go off. I promise you. I've
Yeah, we may have to censor.
creativity.
We may have to
Yeah,
censor next weekend's podcast.
yeah. I'll have to go to YouTube and be like, cursing, not safe for kids.
Yep.
I mean, like,
Rated R for excessive language.
Yes. I'll have to get like one of those duck noises because we'll get a comment from somebody. You
Here,
curse a lot every time.
I got a
Yeah, that
cowbell or something,
a
just
cowbell or a
here it
quack,
comes.
or
Here
it's
it
like quack
comes,
quack.
people.
Let's be like, you quack, you
Yep.
quack. No,
Put your
but
kids' earphones on. Here it comes. Yeah.
we should see more run game concepts. We should see a great script. I thought Seth Luttrell had a great scripted Tulane game. That was the last time I saw a scripted 20 plays that
Yeah.
was really good. It was a good half. I want to see that again. You should have 20 plays scripted up with a 2-week break, and you should have run game concepts from your healthy O-line.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not, this guy gonna be mad.
Yeah. Very, very reasonable expectations. Very reasonable expectations for OU football.
All right,
So, yep.
let's wrap it up, man.
Yep. No, hey, thanks for joining us. I know this is an extended podcast, but it's OU Texas week, so a lot to discuss. I know if you look at the rankings, it looks like a mismatch. We've seen this before. It's no big deal. Go down there, kick it off. Everybody can have a plan until they get hit in the face. You've heard
Yep.
it before. You can have a plan.
Yep.
You get hit in the face, things change in a hurry. So,
Yep.
Just cheer like a champion next Saturday. Hopefully, we have a little more Sooner magic 2 weeks in a row and have another top-ranked team fall 3 straight weeks in a row down in Dallas. So, really appreciate you listening in. Until next week, Boomer Sooner, and take care.
Thanks, guys.